Um, this is an incredible development. I mean, a lot of developments this week. Let's bring in our think tank tonight. Joining us in Atlanta, Georgia, family law attorney, law professor Randy Kessler. In the Bronx, New York, criminal defense attorney Renee Hill. And also in Atlanta, criminal defense attorney Michael Bixson. Great to see everyone. Randy, since the beginning of covering this story, we've known that there are clearly some issues for the so-called doomsday cult mom.
You think?
Absolutely. But are you surprised that we've reached this point at this point? I mean, she's been locked up for a year, over a year. We've seen her in court when she was unmasked. We've seen her with her mask. We've heard plenty of body cam videos of her, and she's always had this strange affect. But do you think she's gotten worse, or is someone just taking the time to finally take a closer look at her?
When you have a shot at a Hail Mary, you take it, right? This is their last chance. And I'm not surprised. Of course, the judge is going to have a hearing on it, because the last thing he wants to do is have a trial, a conviction, and then appeal, where the Court of Appeals says you didn't even look into the issue of whether she was competent. So they'll have their hearing. The judge will find that she's competent enough to stand trial, and they'll have a trial, in my opinion. But, you got a shot at it. And why rush this, if you're the defense lawyer? Because if it's denied, you're going to trial. If it's granted, you're getting a delay. So he's about to go to trial, another chance at a delay. It's a good tactic. It's smart. And, again, it's a Hail Mary.
Randy, and there's a difference, and we always point this out. Competency is your state of mind right now, right here, right now. Legal insanity is at the time of the alleged crime. The only problem that the defense has here is that there's not legal insanity per se in Idaho. It's not a defense there. You could bring in issues of mental illness regarding intent and your mens rea and all that, but you don't have your classic pleading insanity. So what's the long, how do you see her, and how do you see her defense? Do you think this mental state, if she's ever competent, becomes part of the trial itself?
Well, the only way it does become part of the trial is the way it shouldn't be, which is because everyone knows about it, the people that are watching it. If people that are eventually on the jury see the reports, they're going to get into court and they're going to wonder, is she competent? Hopefully they'll weed those people out. Those people will ignore that according to the instructions that the judge will give them to ignore any pretrial publicity. That's the only way it does come out. This is not a defense to the crime. Like you said, Vinny, this is, and like Renee said, all this does is puts the case on hold until she's competent to stand trial. It's not, was she competent to commit the murder? Was she competent to understand what she was doing at the time? It's, does she understand what's going on so that she can help in her own defense, help her lawyers defend her? If she can't, then it's not fair to have a trial until she can assist in her own defense.
All right, Randy, I want to go back to the last time she was in court without a mask, and we actually heard her talk, and she sort of whispers to her, one of her attorneys. Let's take a listen.
The defendant is also present here in the courtroom. Counsel for defense, in the court pleadings, it designates Ms. Vallow, aka Ms. Daybell. How would your client like to be referred to by the court?
Mrs. Daybell, please, Your Honor.
Right.
Randy, I'll go to you. Do you think she's still happily married?
Who's happily married, right? To me, the stuff we see every day, I walk around the street and I think, boy, they look happy, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Vinny, I think this case is going to come down to a great voir dire. Who is going to be on the jury? Are there going to be people that say, I could see she's mentally ill, and I know someone who's mentally ill, and I have sympathy for someone who's mentally ill, or I know someone who was abused because of somebody who's mentally ill. Who the jury is, that's going to be a fascinating jury selection. That's the only way to win the case on the defense side. If you get people that might be sympathetic to somebody that's got those kind of issues, that's another long shot.
Renee.